Have you ever felt so tired of life that everything seems meaningless? The world keeps turning, but you feel like you are standing still, trapped in a silence that hurts more than any scream. And what if I told you that this feeling, as desperate as it may seem, can be the starting point for understanding something fundamental about yourself? Many try to escape depression, but it is exactly by facing it that a door opens that no one else can show. Today, you will discover inner paths that transform pain into clarity, showing that even in the darkest moments, there is a learning that changes your life. If topics like psychology, philosophy, and the darkness of the human soul interest you, subscribe now to the channel. From which place in the world are you watching this video now? Leave your answer in the comments. Depression often does not arrive like a loud thunder. It seeps in quietly, like a fine rain you hardly notice until you realize you are soaked. It is that strange feeling that the world has lost its colors, that nothing sparks interest anymore. Those who have been through this know that even getting out of bed can feel like climbing a mountain. And the cruelest part is that no one on the outside perceives the real intensity of this silent battle. It is like when you play an open-world game, but no longer find meaning in completing the missions. Everything feels repetitive, monotonous, and you ask yourself, what is the point of this? Life, in these moments, feels exactly like that. An automatic sequence of tasks that lead nowhere. It is in this emptiness that depression feeds, sucking the energy from every step. But perhaps this colorless routine hides a clue that needs to be read with more attention. Many people think depression is just sadness, but it is not quite like that. It is also the inability to feel pleasure, to connect with the things that once seemed important. It is like watching your favorite series and feeling nothing, neither joy nor emotion, only emptiness. Those who have lived this understand that it is not weakness, but a real weight that paralyzes and prevents even the simplest tasks of the day. And this is already a sign that the issue goes far beyond willpower. The mind, when it is in this state, creates traps. You convince yourself that there is no way out, that everything is useless, and that nothing will change. It is like being trapped in a labyrinth where every door leads back to the same dark corridor. This mental loop can be devastating because it reinforces the suffering itself. Yet, curiously, it is inside this labyrinth that the first spark of clarity may arise. Have you noticed that even in movies or games, the hero only discovers the secret map after getting completely lost? Depression can work the same way. It pulls you out of autopilot and forces you to question everything. Why get out of bed? Why follow this routine? Why live like this? It seems cruel, but sometimes it is at the bottom of the well that you discover questions you would never ask in times of normality. Questions that can change the course of your story. And it is at this point that loneliness becomes an unwanted companion. It does not matter if you are surrounded by people. It sits next to you, silent, like a shadow that will not detach. Other people's words sound distant, as if there were an invisible glass separating you from the world. And this disconnection, as painful as it is, opens space to realize something. There is an inner reality that no one but you can access. Of course, that is frightening. Who has never felt afraid of looking inward and finding only emptiness? It is like opening a forgotten drawer without knowing whether you will find beautiful memories or hidden ghosts. The mind, when diving into this space, can frighten, but it can also reveal secrets that were hidden under layers of distraction and routine. And this dive, as uncomfortable as it may be, can be the key to a new view of yourself. Maybe then depression is not just an enemy to be defeated, but also an uncomfortable messenger knocking at the door to say, something needs to change. And what if this pain were actually an invitation to reorganize your life, rethink your choices, and find a new meaning? This is where a journey begins that can transform even the darkest moments into opportunities for discovery. When the mind is bogged down in depression, Small gestures become epic battles. Taking a shower, tidying the room, or preparing a meal can seem like a mission impossible. It is like being stuck in an extremely difficult game level with no tips, no instructions. And every small achievement, even if it seems insignificant, is a silent victory that no one else sees. Recognizing this is already a gigantic step in the right direction. Isolation intensifies at this point. You watch people laughing, interacting, living their routines, and feel that you are in another dimension. It is as if you were watching a movie of another life without being able to participate. But curiously, it is in this space between the external world and the internal world that important perceptions begin to emerge. Small details, subtle emotions, thoughts that would normally be ignored, begin to gain attention. Frustration mixes with guilt. Why can I not be like the others? Why does everything feel so heavy for me? These thoughts corrode self-esteem, but they also reveal something essential: the awareness of your own state. It is as if the mirror did not just reflect the image, but the essence, showing what needs care and attention. And it is exactly this recognition that initiates true change. Some people try to escape this pain with distractions: social media, series, food, even work. But it is like putting a lid on a pot that is about to explode. The pressure builds up inside. Depression, when ignored, deepens. However, every moment of silence, every instant of facing your own mind without fleeing, opens a window to understanding and, eventually, to liberation. Creativity can arise in these dark moments. Many artists, writers, and philosophers have found in their own crises fertile ground for expression. Think of Van Gogh, Sylvia Plath, or Nietzsche. The pain did not disappear but transformed into work, into insight, into reflection. Depression, in this sense, is a kind of catalyst, forcing the mind to delve into territories that previously seemed inaccessible. Notice also that the body reacts to all this. Energy decreases, sleep changes, appetite shifts. The physical and the mental are connected in a delicate dance, and caring for one affects the other. Walking, stretching, breathing deeply, or simply moving consciously can be a powerful reminder that even on the darkest days, there is possibility of breath, of relief, of resumption. And even when it seems impossible, talking about it helps. A friend, a therapist, even writing in a journal. Externalizing the pain gives shape and name to what seemed formless. It is like drawing a map of the labyrinth you are in. The path does not immediately become easy, but at least you know where to step. Every word spoken, every silent confession, creates a bridge between isolation and connection. The most subtle point is realizing that there is no linear path out of depression. There are no magic solutions, no guaranteed shortcuts. But every gesture, every reflection, every attempt to face your own mind is a step. And curiously, it is in this constant movement, even if slow, that a faint light begins to appear at the end of the tunnel, suggesting that something different may emerge next. When the mind feels like a constant weight, the perception of time changes. Hours can drag like days, and days feel like eternities. It is as if you were stuck in a loop, watching the world pass without being able to touch it. But, curiously, this distancing also allows you to observe patterns that previously went unnoticed. Each repetition brings subtle insights about habits, thoughts, and emotions. Many times depression forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Who are you really when no one is looking? What do you feel when the facade falls? It is like that movie moment when the protagonist looks in the mirror and realizes a hidden truth. And despite the discomfort, these discoveries are seeds of transformation that life insists on planting. The inner dialogue becomes more intense. Phrases like, "I am not enough," or "this will never change," echo constantly. But in this same echo, it is possible to insert small contradictions, small voices that remind, what if it could be different? It is like learning a new song little by little, note by note, without hurry, until the pattern changes and a new melody emerges. The routine, which before was just an automatic sequence, can become an ally. Small habits like drinking water, organizing the space, writing thoughts work as anchors. Each simple action is a way of regaining control and establishing micro-victories. It is almost like assembling pieces of a puzzle that gradually reveals an image of resilience. Depression, paradoxically, can teach deep empathy. Those who have walked this terrain know that another's suffering is not abstract. It is real, tangible, recognizable. This sensitivity allows truer connections and a more human understanding of other people's fragilities. And this perception opens doors to more meaningful relationships, even in the midst of pain. Silence becomes a frequent companion. But it is not empty silence. It is the one that listens, that observes, and that allows reflection. Walking alone, hearing your own rhythm, noticing the small details of the external world. All this creates an awareness that rarely arises in the rush of daily life. It is in this silence that insights appear that no external noise could reveal. Hope appears subtly, almost imperceptibly. A smile that arises without reason, a pleasant memory, a song that touches the soul deeply. These are small but powerful signs that life can still offer moments of meaning. Recognizing them is like noticing distant lights on a dark road, showing that there are possible paths. And so, even in the midst of depression, the mind begins to reorganize itself. There is no instant cure, no easy solutions, but every gesture, every perception, every reflection builds a silent bridge toward lighter days. And in this process, a question arises almost unintentionally, suggesting that the next step may perhaps reveal something even deeper. The feeling of hopelessness can become overwhelming. It is as if every effort were in vain, and the idea of the future became nebulous, almost non-existent. But it is precisely at this moment that small actions gain meaning. A simple gesture, like answering a friend's message or taking fresh air, can be the spark that reignites something inside you. And this spark, however small it may seem, has the power to change everything. It is common to feel that no one understands the pain you carry. Other people's words often seem superficial or insufficient. But, curiously, this perception also shows how intimate the experience of depression is. No one can live your mind for you. Recognizing this is not isolating. It is liberating because it indicates that you can begin to understand and take care of yourself. The body reflects the mind, and the mind reflects the body. Fatigue, insomnia, appetite changes. Everything is interconnected. Each conscious movement, each deep breath, each brief walk becomes a reminder that you still have control over something. It is like holding tightly to a rope in the middle of a cliff. Each conscious impulse stabilizes your balance and strengthens your self-confidence. In many moments, depression reveals the value of mindfulness. Observing sensations, thoughts, and emotions without judgment creates space to understand patterns. It is as if the mind were an abandoned garden, and each moment of attention were a planted seed, capable of blooming into insights and awareness. This simple yet powerful practice opens paths that once seemed impossible. Many people turn to immediate distractions to escape pain, but true transformation arises when facing discomfort. Movies, books, or music can serve as allies, not as an escape. A striking scene or a deep lyric can touch inner points that daily routine cannot reach. It is in this encounter with art and reflection that small internal changes begin to germinate. Dialogue with someone you trust, a friend, therapist, or mentor, also becomes essential. Verbalizing what you feel helps organize thoughts and reduce the intensity of pain. It is like putting light in a dark room. It does not solve all problems instantly, but it reveals paths that were previously invisible. This practice connects you to yourself and to the world, even if gradually. Even on the hardest days, curiosity about yourself can be a powerful tool. Asking, why do I feel this way? Or what can I learn from this? Turns suffering into learning. It is like an internal detective game, where each clue discovered reveals new possibilities and strengthens your sense of agency over your own life. And little by little, small victories accumulate. Getting out of bed, tidying up the room, writing thoughts, walking outdoors. Each act builds a solid foundation to regain control and hope. And in this process, a silent invitation arises to move on to the next step, which may reveal even more surprising inner resources. Depression, no matter how silent it is, has the power to reveal deep layers of the mind. It is like an ocean that on the surface seems calm, but underneath hides strong currents. By diving into these depths, you begin to notice thoughts and feelings that were previously buried. Recognizing these layers is not comfortable, but it is essential to understand yourself. Self-observation becomes a powerful tool. Noticing patterns of thought, emotional triggers, and automatic responses helps break cycles. It is like studying ancient maps, understanding the terrain before charting a new path. Each perception gain brings more clarity, allowing small changes that accumulate into significant transformations. The perception of your own vulnerability can be frightening, but it also strengthens you. Admitting that there are weaknesses does not mean defeat. It means honesty with yourself. It is like a warrior who knows his limitations before the battle. He is not invincible, but he is prepared to act with awareness and strategy. This awareness changes your relationship with pain. Small daily practices work like anchors. A coffee at dawn, writing thoughts, walking for a few minutes, breathing consciously. Each gesture is a way of reaffirming your presence in the world. The consistency of these habits, even simple ones, strengthens the sense of control and offers stability when everything seems unstable. Connection with other people, even minimal, starts to have a new weight. A look, a word, a gesture of care become bridges to the humanity that still exists inside you. It is like discovering a hidden key in an old book. Suddenly, doors that seemed locked begin to open, revealing spaces that were previously inaccessible. Silence and reflection can be surprising allies. Instead of running from the mind, learning to listen to your own interior helps to understand fears and desires. It is like learning a new language. Each internalized word creates communication and understanding that were once impossible. This practice develops clarity and emotional maturity. Hope, even if faint, begins to seep into dark days. A spark of joy, a good memory, a song that touches deeply. These subtle signs remind you that there is still beauty and meaning. Identifying them is like noticing small lights on a foggy road, giving you courage to keep walking even without seeing the whole path. And thus, each gesture, each reflection, each perception connects, creating an invisible network of inner strength. Depression ceases to be just an unbearable weight and becomes an opportunity for self-knowledge and growth. And at this moment, the next step naturally appears, to explore even deeper inner paths that can transform pain into lasting learning. Depression also teaches about patience with yourself. Each step, no matter how small, is progress. It is like training in a difficult game. You do not skip stages without effort, but each small victory matters. Recognizing these silent progressions helps reduce self-criticism and value your own pace, which is not always linear. The body and the mind are in constant dialogue. When the mind collapses, the body feels it and vice versa. Moving, even slowly, is an act of deep care. Walking around the neighborhood, stretching or breathing deeply does not solve everything, but it creates a thread of stability. This thread is the beginning of an internal support network that no one else can build for you. Sometimes, Depression reveals hidden talents or interests. Something that seemed dormant may awaken when routine and autopilot dissolve. It is like discovering a secret room in your own house, full of possibilities and resources that were forgotten. These small findings offer meaning and motivation amid emotional confusion. Self-knowledge intensifies. By facing uncomfortable thoughts, you begin to identify repetitive patterns, limiting beliefs, and hidden fears. It is like studying the workings of a machine. The more you understand its internal gears, the more you can adjust and improve your own mechanism. This perception increases autonomy over life. Humor can be perceived differently. Small moments of lightness, a joke, a funny memory, start to have a profound effect. It is as if the mind, when sensitive, absorbs colors and details that once went unnoticed. Valuing these simple moments is a powerful way to cultivate resilience and well-being. Structured routine begins to make sense. Small habits, such as regular times to eat, sleep, and exercise, work like silent pillars of stability. It is like building the foundation of a house. You do not immediately see the complete construction, but each brick placed ensures safety and support for what will come later. Communication becomes vital. Talking about feelings, even with difficulty, creates bridges with the outside world. It is like lighting candles in a dark room. It does not illuminate everything, but it offers enough visibility to find paths and not stumble. This practice decreases the feeling of isolation and strengthens human connection, which is essential for recovery. And finally, the perception arises that each day is an opportunity for a restart. Small victories, self-knowledge, and internal and external connections begin to form an invisible support network. And in this continuous process, a new question naturally arises: how to transform this understanding into concrete actions that really change life from now on. Depression, no matter how dark it seems, can also teach about the importance of genuine self-care. Small actions, such as preparing a nutritious meal, taking a relaxing bath, or allowing yourself to rest, have a profound effect. It is like watering a plant. Each simple gesture helps nurture life and strengthen the internal roots that sustain recovery. The moment of introspection becomes an opportunity to know yourself better. Difficult questions arise. What causes me suffering? Or what do I really want from my life? Facing these questions is not easy, but it is essential. It is like opening a door locked for years and finally seeing what is inside with clarity and honesty. The art of being present becomes increasingly important. Feeling the wind, hearing sounds around you, noticing small colors and textures, all this brings awareness to the present moment. It is like tuning instruments before a concert. The more attentive, the more harmonious what you experience and feel becomes. These small details can make the difference. The support network also assumes a crucial role. Friends, family, or trusted professionals act as beacons, offering silent guidance and support. Even if you do not want to talk, their presence strengthens the sense of belonging. And this connection, even discreet, serves as a reminder that you are not alone in this process. Recovery time does not follow fixed rules. Good and bad days alternate, and each step is an achievement. It is like climbing a mountain where some stretches are steep, others flat. The view from the top is only reached with persistence and patience. Valuing each small victory maintains motivation and helps build lasting resilience. Depression also teaches the importance of gratitude, even for minimal things. A hot coffee, a light conversation, a song that touches deeply. These are subtle reminders that life still offers beauty. It is like finding gold nuggets in the middle of mud, small riches that strengthen the spirit and remind you that it is worth continuing. Small rituals, such as writing thoughts, meditating, or doing light exercises, become anchors of stability. They offer structure and constancy when everything seems unstable. It is like building a shelter in the middle of a storm. It does not stop the rain, but it protects and allows you to go through the day with more safety and presence. And, looking at the path traveled, a silent understanding begins to emerge. Each step, each gesture, each reflection, even in the darkest moments, contributed to a deep learning. And at this point, the next cycle announces itself, suggesting that new inner discoveries are about to be revealed, ready to transform pain into continuous growth. So, what did you think of today's content? Could you manage to identify with any part of this inner journey we explored together? Tell me in the comments which character or theme you want me to analyze in the next video. Remember, each step you take to better understand yourself is a step toward a more conscious and full life. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to keep learning about these topics and discover new paths for your mind and your emotions. These two videos in front of you are not here by chance. And what if everything you believe about yourself is only a reflection of someone else's gaze? Click now on one of the videos beside and start breaking this mirror. You will have to risk the click. So, which one will you choose?